We got the EMERBU PDX right here. So this is a new blaster from them. They just started selling it a couple weeks ago on their website and on Amazon. And it is a modified or fully upgraded PDX version that we haven't seen before. All right, so this is different than like the Jingji PDX that's out there. This is a little lower price point. In my opinion, maybe a little better value because of everything you get for it at $120. It's a pretty damn good deal. But of course, it has some differences too. Now, one of them being a little less expensive makes it a little easier to work on. It seems like the more expensive, the better the blaster, the harder it is to take them apart, the harder it is to work on them. Now, this one is made by a company called WD or Weedi or Weedi. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like WIEDI. And it is basically kind of partnered with TG or Tiangong. They're made in the same factories. And we can see some huge similarities here between the PDX and the ARP9 that TG makes, the EMERBU sells. Like it's an identical gearbox. So the gearbox, it's a Gen 8.5. This one's obviously a different color. A nice nylon gearbox, primer up here. But yeah, that's definitely identical to the one that is in the ARP9, and the T-piece is the same too. So let's talk a little bit about it. I got it opened up here. I'm going to talk about what I did and then show you some stuff. So first off, when you're taking this apart, pretty straightforward, right? Screws up here, right? Okay. You got this one right here. That's going to let you take the handguard off. You got this one here, right? Another Allen wrench. This back here. And then we've got one here. And then you've got your mag release one here as well. So if you remove all of those, you can just kind of open it up, like pull the handguard off, and then it opens up like a sandwich, kind of like you see. That's what we kind of call these, like sandwich style. All right. So that, once you get that open, you're good to go. Now this piece back here, because there's nothing that kind of holds this can sit here and spin when you're trying to turn it here. So if you're able to grab onto it with something, it's pretty tough. You can do that. I haven't had problems in the past. This is common on a lot of blasters where I haven't been able to get it off. But on this one, I could not. So I actually had to drill it out. Now I have a bunch of these pins. It's not a big deal. I can replace it. But for those of you at home, just know you may struggle a little bit. And I just didn't want to scratch it. So eventually I'm just going to drill it. I don't care. All right. So that's how easy it is to take apart. There's one more screw back there. So when you open it, right, obviously your charge handle is going to be in here. The spring connects up here, so the spring's latched on there. You're just going to remove that. This is your little blowback cover piece. That just goes, it was just sitting right there. There's a little tab, I guess, that sticks up, and that's where that hole goes, and that's what makes this blow back and forth, right? Your mag release just comes off pretty straightforward. Here is where it's a little different, too. As you can see on this one, that this is just a different kind of attachment we haven't seen on any type of blasters. This just screws on, and this just holds, goes in like normal, but it's not necessarily there to hold the T-piece in like this does on a lot of other blasters. And really, it's just, slides on there and screws down. And then you can see your nice threaded tip. Okay, but that's definitely unique to this brand. I've not seen that on any others. The ARP is a little similar, except, of course, the handguard is not removable on the ARP. So that shows you some of the differences. The only other thing is there is a screw in the bottom of the handle, too. Obviously, you need to take that out first before you unsandwich the blaster, if that makes sense. All right, so here is your gearbox. This already performs pretty well out of the box. Without any types of mods, because we already got metal gears in here. We got this high-speed upgraded motor, obviously the metal barrel. We've got an upgraded spring. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to change the spring, though, to a little bigger, or we're going to do something else with it to give it a little more power. So you can see here, looking at the spring, this is actually a nicer spring than you find in most blasters from the factory, right? If it's got that shiny stainless steel, you don't see that as often. But we do here. And it appears to be, based off of measuring it, what they typically use, a 1.2. It's like a 1.2 spring, but it's a better quality one than I've seen on some of the other blasters. So it's a smooth pin. So I do not currently have more springs, right, that are bigger or better than this. So I print these little spring spacers like this. that go on that pin. That essentially does the same thing. So in theory, I'm going to guess that by putting the spacer on here, we get this up to like an M95, M100-ish size spring or power. But that may not be true. So we'll just have to try it out. But we should see an increase with it. And it's nothing too crazy that there shouldn't be any sort of problems, but sometimes there are, and I'll have to take it out or try something different. So that's how easy it is to change a spring, right? You guys have seen me do it on a lot of blasters in the past. All right, so we got that upgraded. So that's quick kind of the breakdown, how to take it apart, how to upgrade the spring on the new EMERBU PDX. All right, check them out on emerbutoys.com or Amazon. Of course, Amazon only ships blasters to certain states now. They're really weird, so you might need to get it from EMERBU Toys. It'll come from the same fulfillment center. You should still get it in a couple days. Just if you're ordering parts and accessories from EMERBU, those come from China and take a little longer. So I'm excited to try this out, see what kind of FPS increases we got, and then I made some pretty cool custom parts. I'll do a separate video where I kind of show you what the build plan is for that. And of course, then we'll get it all built out and we'll shoot it, and I'll do some videos for that. Comments, questions, post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, participate in those monthly giveaways, guys. Over $200 with custom blasters and accessories every month, typically towards the end of the month. And of course, ring that bell for notifications. Then you're going to know whenever those contests are live so that you can participate and win, hopefully. All right. Thanks again. Make sure to share with your friends and refer other subscribers too.